Hello there everyone, and welcome to a new review on the channel. And today we are going to be looking at not a product but a service, and that is The Family by Ben Earl. This is something that I've kind of wanted to get into for quite some time, and I finally decided to because I'm getting really busy in October and I'm going to be performing a lot. I'm pretty much booked all the way through, and I kind of wanted some new material to kind of road test, and I know that Ben Earl is the guy to provide you that material. So I decided to take a plunge in these subscriptions. I paid it for myself, and I have to say, I do think it is probably the best card subscription out there, and I think it is one of the best subscriptions. If you're a card guy, I don't think anything can beat this, and I'll tell you why right now. So let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect, so decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about The Family. So what is The Family? The Family is Ben Earl's take on the monthly subscription services of Magic that are kind of happening now. Kind of everyone is getting their subscription services up, and this is Ben Earl's contribution to it. It's a purely card Magic based thing, and I think it is incredible. So now, before we move on, let me just give you kind of a performance of some of the things that you can do with this. I'll perform one quick routine that you can do with this that I really like. So you can have the deck shuffled by the spectator. It can be mixed, and you tell them that what you're going to try and do now is what a lot of people say is direct mind reading or ESP. But for you, it's really not. You never really learned it that way. For you, it's more like a really hard skill that you had to hone from years of talking and interacting with people and being able to gain things from their personality, from the way they speak, from their tells. And you kind of want to test it out with them. And it may not work, but you just want to test it out. Would you like to be part of it? They're going to say yes. Then tell perfect. So you mix this deck, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get a card in your mind. So can you see the cards if I flash them like this? You can? Perfect. So I'm just going to go through, and you're just going to say stop. Stop here, for example. I hope the camera catches that. Perfect. So now your head could be turned. So now you're here in the corner and you tell them perfect. So there's one card here, and who here knows how to mix cards? You? Perfect. Can you take the cards and mix them? So the spectator is going to mix up the cards. Just like that. They can mix them up however they want. Okay. And then you tell them, perfect. Make sure your card is not on top or the bottom. On top or the bottom, they would do that. So now you tell them, okay, now this is what we're going to do is I'm going to use every technique and ruse in the book to try and get the information from you. And by doing that, I don't want you to give me anything. So don't say the answers out loud, only think them in your head. So now this is going to be the tricky part for me to perform this for the camera. So let me get up, and you would essentially go here and you say, do you see your card among these? Just in your mind. And you say, okay. You know what? Let me just see here. Do you see your card among here? No, that's a definitive no. That's definitely a no. What about here? No. So your card has to be here. I'm really getting a feeling that your card is among these. Now your card could be red or black. Just think red or black in your head, but don't say it out loud. Just think it. And I don't think that your card is one of these. I don't think so. So we're just going to remove these. I think your card is here. Now, I want you to think, I don't even want you to tell me I don't even want to know anything. So your card could either be red or black. You were think of it. I got an idea. So if I got it correctly, I just want you to think of the suit. Just think of the suit of the card. Perfect. I think I got it correctly. I think I was able to get the color from you, which automatically leaves me with just two cards. Now, I want you to think of the value of the card. Think of if it's a high value, low value. And I immediately, you kind of hesitated a bit because it's not a super high value, was it? And it wasn't a super low value as well. It was kind of in the middle, right? For the first time, what was the card you were thinking of? The 8 of clubs. And that's exactly the card that I placed in your hand, the 8 of clubs. So that's one of the things that you can do with the things that you learn in Ben Earl's The Family. So having said that, let's talk about where you get the subscription, how much does it cost, and what do you get in terms of content. So you can get this directly from Ben Earl himself on his website, so on his studio website, or you can just search The Family by Ben Earl and you'll be redirected there. To sign up, it's going to cost you £22 a month. You can also do it bi-yearly, or you can do it for a whole year, so you can pay upfront. I do it by month, so which is around 37 Canadian dollars, and I think that's around 25 US dollars in terms of money. And what you get is, if you subscribe, you get everything that has happened up until now. So you're getting a year and a half worth of content already. So that's going to occupy you for a long time. But essentially what you get is every month is structured in the same structure. So what you get is an intro video every month. You then get a masterclass on a certain slide. So for example, this trick is part of the finger peak slide. Another month, you're going to learn the Herman pass. Another month, you're going to learn top change. Another month, you're going to learn the top palm. Another month, you're going to learn X and Y and Z moves. So every month has a move that encapsulates it, okay? Then from that move, you go into live performances of one trick. Full live, uncut performances of tricks. You can go into the explanation of that trick. Then after that, you go into director's commentary of that trick, where he goes over what he taught you and he goes over the presentation in the performances. So he's like, see here how I look away when they do this, or see how I do here this move while maintaining contact. And it's really insightful to have those moments, because they play so well, and people, it just helps you see the way that you should be performing this effect. It's very, very good. And a lot of times he's like, he gives you the bad things as well. He's like, look, at this point here, I completely forgot to do this. And I had no idea, I was completely lost. So look how I handled this. So it's very useful. Then you get another set of performance videos for a second trick. Then the tutorial, then director's commentary. Then you get like a small documentary of the month. And then you get a podcast where you talk about everything that you get during the month. And then lastly, you get a live event every month where there's kind of a deep dive on Discord and everyone kind of talks and jams out. So that's what you get with your family subscription. Okay, so that's a lot of content. Put together, that's over 3 hours of content a month that you are getting. Okay, so you're getting one slight masterclass and 2 tricks. So for those that are here just for the tricks and for the slides, you're getting 2 tricks and a slide every month. Okay. So now it's also important to mention that a lot of these things are overlapping with Ben Earl's books. So if you have his Shift books or his Inside Out book or some of his other projects, some of these routines overlap, but there is new stuff here as well. And also the touches he's added since he wrote those books are really worthwhile. And seeing it kind of live compared to on the pages of a book is really, really a different experience. And I really think that it translates differently. So that's essentially everything that you get with your subscriptions. So having said that, now let's talk about difficulty. So how difficult is this subscription? So from the get-go on the website, Ben Earl doesn't try and deceive you. It says it's intermediate plus. So this is not something for beginners. This is not something that, if you're starting out into cards, you're going to get. So there's already a predisposition that you know how to do moves. For example, in one of the earlier months, he says here you could do a pass, or you could do a double undercut, or you could do this type of control. And he doesn't explain those controls for you. It's already predetermined that you already know. Where at one point he's like, you do the double lift here. He's not going to tell you to do a double lift, you have to do this, right? He just tells you to do it. So if you're a full beginner, it's not for you. But if you've been in card magic, I'd say for over 6 months, 6 months plus, I would say, this is a treasure trove for you. So if you're kind of still starting out, but you've already kind of harnessed the basics, this is going to be life-changing for you. However, if you're someone that's already been doing card magic for a long time, I think that the subtleties, the effects, the pattern that you're getting here is close to none, and it's going to improve your magic. And to me, it has. Like, I've been here for just 1 month. So this is just my experience after 1 month. I haven't been here for long, and I'm planning to stay because of how much I'm learning from this. Like, the effects that you learn are a bit ballsy. They're a bit hard. They're not like simple effects. There are some simple effects there, but these are effects that are going to help you become a better card magician. hands down. But difficulty-wise, I would say intermediate is at least necessary, and I agree with this statement on the website. Regarding practicality, how practical are these routines? It's Ben Earl, and kind of his motto is, I just roll with a deck of cards and nothing else. And it holds true here. As long as you have a deck of cards, or you can borrow a deck of cards, you can do pretty much all of the routines that I've seen up until this point in the subscription. I haven't had time to look at all of it, but pretty much everything can be done. Also, there's nothing here that requires a setup, right? That's something that I said about other subscriptions, that some other ones, a lot of the tricks are super good, but they require setups. So you cannot kind of chain them together. Whereas here, you could literally, if you learn everything, you can do like a 2-hour card set with just a deck of cards, no even need for a Sharpie. Just do the routines that you learn here, and you can entertain an entire room, table to table, for 2 hours with no issues. So practicality-wise is great. Regarding angles, depending on the routines, 180 to 360. Regarding reset, there's no reset. As I mentioned, there's no kind of presets going on here. Shuffle deck in use. Inspectability, no gimmicks, nothing. None of the routines gimmicks, all sleight of hand. So fully inspectable, just give it away. You can even hand the deck out at the end of the night for them to keep as a souvenir. Regarding surfaces, some of the routines require a table, some of them don't. Most of them don't, so you don't even need a table. You can do this table hopping without a problem. Most of his performances are done on the street, in a park, or in front of a pub. So he doesn't even use tables. So this can be done without a table, no problem. So as long as you have a deck of cards, you're good to go in performing these routines. So where do you perform this? So where would you perform the material in this? You can perform this pretty much anywhere. If you're someone that does card magic parlor shows or stage shows or cabaret shows, only card magic, you're good. If you do only table hopping, you're good. If you do only Instagram or Zoom, you're good. If you do just street performances, guess what? You're good as well. So you can pretty much perform this anywhere that you want. You are good to go as long as you have a deck of cards in your pocket. So having said all this, what are the positives and negatives of the family? So let's start with the negatives. What are the negatives of this subscription? And I'm going to be honest, there are none. There are none. I mean, I haven't found any, and I think that I will not find any. I think this is pretty much it for card magic. I think if you do card magic, you can literally, I think, create yourself a career just from the items that you learn here. And I'm not even extrapolating. And as I said, I paid this for myself. I wasn't asked to do this review. I wasn't contacted by anyone to do this review. I'm just saying this for myself as a viewer of it. If you do card magic, you could literally make yourself a career just with this material. That's how strong it is. And I'm being honest here. So there's really no negatives here. What are the positives? One, just use a deck of cards. You're going to improve all of the sleights that you already know. You're going to improve the routines, some of the routines that you already do. You're going to change them and do them like this. You're going to learn a ton of effects. You're going to have master classes on moves. You're going to be able to learn new things, to interact with people on the Discord. You're going to be able to have kind of a new perspective on the things you do and see how you can maybe shape your pattern to make a card trick be more than a card trick. So yeah, this review is shorter than most because there's only good things to say. So yeah, would I recommend the family? If you do card magic at all, I think go ahead. I think even if you want to try it out for a month, try it out, see it, experiment it for yourself. And I can guarantee you will not be disappointed. So I fully recommend the family. If you're a card magician, I think it is absolutely great. What do I rate it out of 10? Maybe my bias is going to be flagrant here because I'm someone that loves Ben Earl's stuff. I own a lot of his books, a lot of his downloads. I love his vision of card magic. Some of the best reactions I've ever gotten are with his tricks. The best reaction I've ever gotten in magic, this is going to be a side thing before I tell you it's a 10. So bear with me for a small story. I did his red herring shuffle, I believe it's called, at an event. It was kind of like a small gathering with people. And one of them was someone that was always like a heckler, right? He was always a heckler. So he was like, oh, show me something. And everyone was like immediately drawn because they knew like, oh, this guy is going to destroy this magician dude. So everyone came and looked. And I did the red herring shuffle to him and the red herring trick. So I'm going to tell him, look, before we start, can I have your number? Can I send you something? And I sent him a picture on his phone. Then I had him mix the deck, shuffle the deck, cut the deck, do everything himself. And I told him, look at the card, place everything back, shuffle. And during the routine, you could see he was out. Like when he looked at the card, placed everything back and shuffled, he was like, no way. Like you could see on his face, he was like, I give up. Like he was already smiling and laughing. You could see that even a heckler was fooled completely. And when I told him, then when he wanted to give me back the deck, and I told him, no, I don't want to touch. I told you I don't touch anything. You remember I sent you something at the start. And he literally just dropped the cards on the tables and he said, if you sent me the card that I have in mind, I'm literally leaving this party. He opened his phone, he left it down, and he legit just left. And he was like, I'm done. So that to me, everyone went crazy. To me, that's the best reaction I've ever gotten performing things. And I feel that performing this material that I'm going to be learning here is going to get those same reactions. And just that should give you the stamp of approval of what you're getting here. It's a 10. I think it's great. I think it's a must. Check it out. If you're part of the family, tell me down below what you think about it. If you're willing to go into it and you have questions, ask me down below. If you subscribe, tell me. If you're a new subscriber, tell me. I'm a kind of new subscriber as well. So tell me what you think about it. But enough said. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and I'll see you all in my next one. Have a great one.